We're joined, as we are week in and week out, with Will Richmond, the digital news editor at the Herald News. Hey, Will, how are you?
I'm good, Keith. How you doing?
Good. How was your holiday, 4th of July last week?
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, we were both off last week. The A-Team is back this week, although we want to thank Don Amata, who's co-hosted this show before, and Joe Good from the Herald for filling in last week. So they did a great job, and hopefully we'll use them both again really soon. All right, well, let's get into some of the news items of the week. As I mentioned in our open, Amazon gave us more details about when it's going to be launching its operations and hiring its staff at the distribution center here on Innovation Way in Fall River. And you know, after this long period, it's good to know that there's some finality to this, if you will, with the facility opening September 21st, and it was good to get all those details in line, and I guess fill in some people about some of the details if they don't know about it already. We'll have more later in the show, by the way.
Yeah, sure. It certainly, it's been a long, like you mentioned, a lot of speculation going forward as people have been waiting for these job opportunities to officially open up, and there continues to be a lot of interest. I know heading into these briefing sessions, there were more than 600 people that had signed up, pre-signed up just to attend those sessions that were being scheduled. So word came out yesterday that the salaries will range in the area of about $12 to $15 an hour. It does sound like there'll be a lot of overtime opportunities, especially around the Christmas holiday season, which probably helps to drive it up to that average salary of about $35,000 that had been mentioned the last couple of months. As well, it looks like staffing is set where everyone who's employed is required to work one weekend day. So but it's only four-day work weeks. So you might have a Saturday included, and you'll work the 3 days prior to that, or a Sunday included in the 3 days after that as well. So that seems to be the early figures and details on what this job will look like.
Right. Also, people should know that applications will be accepted beginning July 22nd and 23rd, and that'll be online through the Amazon Jobs website. And as you mentioned, the breakdown in terms of the work week is 4-day work weeks, 10-hour days for those 4-day work weeks, and it'll also include holiday night opportunities. This is going to be pretty much a 365, almost 24/7 operation up at Innovation Way. So plenty of opportunities, and there's also some opportunities, and we'll have more about this a little bit later in the show, for non-warehouse possibilities for positions like IT and management. Is that correct? And I think that's already being done as we speak, right? Some of that application and hiring?
Yeah, that process began a couple months ago, where they started taking some of the more so-called management type positions and started that application process already. And now they're moving towards the fill-in of the warehouse fulfillment center type of roles.
Right. And you mentioned the information briefings which have been taking place even as we record this. There's one going to be held at Bristol Community College. It was held at 3 o'clock on this Thursday here at BCC. And the other thing that should be noted is the fact that the Fall River Career Center has really played a leading role in this, in terms of organizing these sessions and getting the word out through the city of Fall River. And you know, even though the mayor had a press conference earlier this week, a lot's been going on with the Fall River Career Center. They've really been leading a lot of this charge, correct?
Yeah, and hopefully, at least for Fall River's sake and the immediate communities, this is going to help to get a lot of that sort of direct connection with the Fall River Career Center will hopefully help to get a lot of Fall River people in these positions at the Amazon Center. So hopefully that connection will really prove strong here.
Yeah. So great news on the job front here in Fall River as Amazon moving forward. It'll be open in a couple of months. September 21st is when the center will be open, and I'm sure there'll be a ribbon cutting of some sort before or around then. If you heard anything about that, Will?
Yeah, I don't know if I would if I'd count on that. I recall when they started the construction work that the word was Amazon doesn't like to do the groundbreaking type of ceremonies. They kind of just like to get to work.
That's it.
Get people into position and get operating. So My guess is I know that a similar one opened up earlier this year in Connecticut. That handles, I think, even the smaller scale items that the Fall River one will. And that one, they got it open, and then a couple months after they had a chance, I think, to work the kinks out, is when they started to let the media and those types in to see how
Right.
it worked.
Right. So no nonsense, just get right to work. So that's good. All right. Next on the agenda, Mayor Correa also mentioned this week that the city will be seeking proposals for a marketing consultant to help in what it sees is the need for an ongoing and consistent branding campaign. Fill in the viewers about this effort.
Yeah, it's certainly, while I don't believe it's immediately tied in, the timing is certainly there in terms of the ranking from USA Today and the website 24/7 that put Fall River as the fifth worst place to live in the United States. So, there's long been the discussion of improving the image of Fall River, making it more of a draw to people from outside the area. And it looks like this is the time that the mayor, with the budget now completed, is moving forward on the concept of a branding strategy for the city. Certainly, may help to counteract that type of ranking that it received. He did note in talking with Joe Good here that if you don't tell the city's story, someone tells it for you. And unfortunately, that's what happened with this USA Today ranking. So that effort is underway. They'll be looking to have someone in the RFP determined by the end of August, I believe it is, and we'll see what goes from there.
And this is also part of what I know that Mayor Correa had mentioned will be an ongoing effort to market the city not only for economic development opportunities, but also tourism opportunities, as well as the mayor mentioned in the piece that was in the Herald, the opportunity to maybe create another signature event like Fall River Celebrates America, which had gone on here in the city for 25 years and ran out of gas and literally ran out of money through the Chamber of Commerce 5-6 years ago. So the mayor looking to do more of that. And I don't know if the city needs another signature event, but I think it would go a long way in helping in that marketing of the city and bringing some tourism dollars back into Fall River. And based on the editorial that ran in the paper today, it's also good timing with the work finalizing around the Route 79 area and the Braga Bridge. So as you said, it may be a good time to do all of this. Yeah, certainly as this construction project starts to reach the final phases, it's going to make Fall River much more accessible. An event that's similar to what Fall River Celebrates America was, helps to draw people in from outside of the Fall River community, hopefully shows it off to more people as well. So improved accessibility, getting them here, making it easier for them to get here could go a long way. And finally, in terms of visibility within the city of Fall River, the City Council had charged the Fall River Corporation Council, Joe Macy, to look at the city's ordinances as it concerns blighted and abandoned buildings and what the city can do to get those either knocked down or taken care of by the property owners or refurbished so the city can get them back on the tax rolls. And Attorney Macy approached the City Council about this this week, and I guess it was sort of a mixed message where there's some good things on the books already that the city can use, but there may be some other opportunities for the city to tighten up its ordinances to help in the effort of dealing with abandoned and blighted buildings. Yeah, I think, anytime with ordinances, things change, can change pretty frequently from councilors to, as councilors change, the ordinances can change. Some don't realize ordinances that exist. Right. So new ones get added on, they can become duplicative and redundant or unnecessary. So this served as a good opportunity to review those ordinances. Councilor Steve Long has, since he's been on the council, has really been eyeing properties that just sit blighted, boarded up windows. I know there's 2 in the Corky Road neighborhood that he's especially sort of been reviewing and looking for ways to get those torn down or refurbished. So the review by the Corporation Council, with the help of 2 interns from the UMass Law School,
is going into that process, and it sounds that there will also be a public review process as well, if they input process for people to weigh in on. So there may even be an opportunity to kind of cull some ordinances out of the city that just are not necessary.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, that'll do it for this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk again next week.